President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Bio, Your Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Mrs. Lordina Mahama, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Alban S.K. Bagbin, the Acting Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bafo-Boni, and Justices of the Supreme Court and members of the Judiciary, Your Excellency, the former President of the Republic of Ghana, John Agyekum Kufuor, Your Excellency, the former Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Chief of Staff, Minister of State, senior government officials, the National Chairman, General Secretary, and members of the National Democratic Congress, members of the Council of State, members of the clergy, both Christian and Muslim, traditional leaders, heads of security services, members of the diplomatic corps, heads of international organizations and agencies, families of our gallant fallen heroes, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, the good people of Ghana. We gather tonight under a cloud of shared grief, our hearts heavy with the profound sorrow that has gripped our nation. The news of the helicopter crash at Adansiakro Foam, which tragically claimed the lives of 8 of our beloved citizens, all of whom were proudly serving our great nation, has shattered us to the core. Our nation is indeed in deep mourning. In my official capacity as President of the Republic of Ghana, I wish to extend the sincerest condolences of our nation to the bereaved families, the spouses and children who have lost pillars in their lives, the parents, the siblings, grappling with the unimaginable pain, and the countless friends, colleagues, and community members who cherish these dedicated individuals. I pray that the cherished memories of these our loved ones will serve as a guiding light, illuminating a path towards through the darkness and devastation of this national tragedy. But I'm not addressing you today solely in my capacity as President. I stand before you tonight, additionally, and quite humbly, as a person who is also personally grieving the departed. But I'm not interested in addressing you today solely, each of the 8 individuals on that helicopter was either a friend, a cherished colleague, or a valued citizen of this country that I lead. Indeed, some of them were like close family, like brothers, and so I feel their loss quite deeply. It pains me to think of them reduced today merely to names written and repeated again and again in news reports both here and abroad. There were only a few days ago vibrant lives, each dedicated to a singular cause, the betterment of our country. I want to honor those lives that were lived in full with unwavering passion and a commitment right up until they took their final breaths. Remember Flight Officer Chumampedu, Squadron Leader Peter Anala, Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah, Samuel Abuaje, former NDC parliamentary candidate for Boise East and Deputy Coordinator for National Disaster Management Organization, Samuel Sapon, National Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Alhaji Limuna Muniru Mohammed, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator, Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Ibrahim Mohammed, MP for Tamale Central and Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, and my friend and confidant, advisor, Dr. Edward Kofi Omane Boama, serving as our Minister for Defense. What compounds our collective grief and shock as a nation is the sudden, unpredictable, and violent nature of their passing. Culturally, we've become used to preparing for the loss of loved ones, even in brief illnesses. Yet in this increasingly complex and fast-moving world, we're sometimes faced with such sudden bereavement, forcing us to confront how fragile and how fleeting life really is. Here today, gone tomorrow. Recently, in a similar tragic accident, a few days before, we lost 15 of our young citizens, members of a church singing band who had gone to perform at a youth program of their church. Similarly, on that occasion, I expressed my condolences to the bereaved family and placed a personal call to Opening Abraham, who is the head of the Savior Church in Ghana, to whom these young people belonged. It is at times like this, however, that the true spirit of us as Ghanaians reveal itself. We showcase the profound compassion that we have, our inherent decency, our indomitable resilience, and our deep-seated unity that have come to define our nation, Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, we come together tonight not solely as a nation divided by regions, ethnic groups, or political parties, but as a nation of brothers and sisters, held together by the fundamental understanding that we are indeed each other's keepers. Each one of us stands at the center of a vast network of people that extends beyond any single region or ethnic group. That was precisely the case with our 8 brothers we have just lost. Combined, I'm certain that the communities that they touch span the entire width and breadth of this nation, creating an interconnected tapestry of human relations. We're truly one seamless, unified family, and therefore we must not only mourn as one, but commit to healing as one. The ultimate sacrifice, though painful beyond measure, serves as a powerful reminder of the profound work that remains to be done for Ghana. We know with absolute certainty that they will not want us to be paralyzed by grief. Indeed, they will be the first to urge us to pick up the mantle, to channel our sorrow into renewed determination to get the work done. This is precisely the spirit behind Resetting Ghana agenda. A comprehensive call to reevaluate, to rebuild, and to reignite our collective ambition for a stronger, more prosperous nation. It demands courage, innovation, and an unwavering belief in our shared destiny. Let us therefore transform this profound sorrow into a catalyst for action. Let us honor their memories not just with tears, but with renewed dedication to the very ideals that they lived and died for. Let us recommit ourselves to working tirelessly, transcending our differences and focusing our energies on the monumental task of nation building. They served Ghana with their last breath, and it is our sacred duty to continue that service, to build the Ghana they wanted, a Ghana of opportunity, justice, and prosperity for all our citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks the end of the 3 days of mourning that was declared for our fallen colleagues. We move from grieving to accepting our loss. Following the positive identification of the bodies of our deceased brothers. We will lay the first two of our comrades to rest tomorrow at the military cemetery at Chado. Consultations with families will determine the burial dates of the remaining colleagues. This is the enduring legacy they would expect, the progress they would demand. In closing, I would like to leave you with the poignant words of another native son of ours, one who served this country well, and who was also taken from us suddenly and in an equally violent and shocking manner. And the brief poem is titled, The Journey Beyond. And this son of ours is Professor Kofi Awuno, who was a former member of the Council of State. And I quote, he says, the howling cry through the doorpost, carrying boiling pots, ready for the feast. Kusiami, the benevolent boatman, when I come to the river shore, please ferry me across. I do not have tied in my cloth the price of your stewardship, unquote. I'm certain countrymen and women that at the end of their passage, our 8 comrades will be met and welcomed on the other shore of the river by Professor Kofi Awuno, who wrote that poem. His Excellency Professor John Evans Otamils, Madame Theodosia Salome Oko, His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and all the other past great sons and daughters of our dear nation, Ghana. May the souls of our comrades and colleagues rest in perfect peace. May God bless their families and all who knew and loved them. And may God continue to bless our beloved homeland, Ghana. I thank you.
Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, all protocol observed. I stand here with a heavy heart to give reflections about Comrade Murtala. It's very difficult for me, and yet I have been called upon. Murtala was one who would always pat my shoulder, say, Hadia, I have come. Say, come on, stop. With our jokes as a playmate, I can confidently say, if for nothing at all, Murtala was a true Muslim, always quoting the Quran, even on the floor of Parliament when he was debating and ensuring that he translated it. I reflect the way and manner in which he will present his debates with facts and ensure that he quotes from the necessary references. I recall the fact that he is a person who accepts wherever he slipped when even he was talking. He would quickly correct himself and make sure he says it as it is. The last time we sat together during a debate, I recall him saying National Democratic Party, and as colleagues tried to correct him, he quickly said, I am not a pot of knowledge. I come to learn and to be able to say it and do it as it is. So he quickly said National Democratic Congress. And he added, without forgetting where he is coming from, his humble beginnings, he said, I attended Kulukuli Primary with Honorable Haruna Idrisu. He is here. We laughed over his jokes. He was so much into duty, such that ever since I have known him for not less than 30 years, I have never witnessed a situation where he has not been readily available and where he will not apologize if even he was late. Your Excellency, the aura with which Murtala will present his speech makes everyone want to listen to him. He was a comrade to the extent that every youth that listened to him during media interactions will say, that is someone I want to be my mentor, or this is my mentor. When you ask who is that, they will tell you, Comrade Murtala. Murtala, I know, I believe, as a Muslim myself, that it is but death. We know that we Muslims will say, Kanu inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. From the dust we came, from the dust we shall return. We have no power. All for us is to pray. Pray for you, pray for your soul, and say, may Allah sallallahu wa ta'ala grant you Jannah along with your colleagues. And I pray, Kul huwa Allahu ahad Allahu samad lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Thank you very much.
Reflection. We would like to share about the Honorable Minister. It is the speed with which he sought to transform the environment, science, and technology landscape of our country. For this reason, he did not think that anything about the sector should wait for tomorrow, as everything was urgent. Honorable Murtala can best be described as a visionary leader, a devoted public servant, a true patriot, and indeed a comrade. His favorite way of addressing people and the way he loved to be addressed himself. Everyone is a comrade to Honorable Murtala. The Honorable Minister, within the first 3 months of his appointment, initiated and launched the biannual Environment, Science and Technology BEST Forum in June 2025 and has set the stage for the main BEST Forum in the week of 15th of September 2025 to institutionalize the annual engagement amongst researchers, academia, and industry for Ghana's technological innovation and socio-economic transformation. The Minister was passionate about policy developments. Within the first half of the year 2025, he personally saw to the development and completion of key policy documents that has received cabinet approval. Punctuality was his trademark. He consistently reported to work as early as 6:30 a.m. and at most 7:30 a.m. I personally share my experience with him. As a chief director, when I was posted to the ministry, the first day I reported at 8 o'clock. I found Minister Murtala on his table. The next day I reported at 7:30. Again, he was in the office before me. On the third day I reported at 7 o'clock. I still came and met him on his table. The rest of the story is mine to good. I then advised myself. He spends his early hours of the day to respond to official emails and other relevant correspondences before attending to activities of the day. Most of the time, he juggled responsibilities between office, parliament, and the presidency. He was hospitable, accommodating, and receptive to stakeholders of the ministry. He hosted and engaged several guests, including diplomats, civil society groups, and individuals offering to support and collaborate with the ministry in the areas of environmental management, science, and technology. It is therefore not surprising that in one of such collaborative ventures, the Honorable Minister lost his life. He was multitasked to the admiration of everybody and never seemed exhausted. He was often seen driving himself
Our
to
next
work
reflection
and
will be
made
read
the rest
by Air Commodore Matthias Ewa. Our
and
next
made
reflection will be
the
read
rest of us
by Air Commodore Matthias Ewa on
wonder
behalf
whether
of the
we need
Ghana
explicit
Armed
details.
Forces.
Engaging warmly and openly with all manners of people, including citizens, junior staff, traditional leaders, and international dignitaries. He fostered trust, strengthened collaborations across agencies, and helped bridge the gap between government and the people. Honorable was an ardent advocate for youth empowerment and gender equity. He will not review a proposal without wearing his gender and youth lens. He inspired a new generation of public sector managers. The impact of his leadership will continue to be felt through numerous national programs and initiatives that he helped shape. His exemplary character, astute intellect, and unwavering sense of duty earned him respect across political divides and endeared him to colleagues, staff, and development partners and the broader Ghanaian public. His demise is not only a tremendous loss to MES, but also a monumental one to Ghana and the African continent, especially in the area of environment, science, and technology leadership. As we come to terms with this devastating tragedy, we take solace in the legacy he leaves behind, a legacy of integrity, humility, service, inclusivity, visionary leadership, and steadfast commitment to sustainable development. His memory will forever linger in the work we do at MES and in the hearts of the countless lives he touched. May the Almighty Allah grant Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Muhammad eternal rest in Jannatul Firdaus. May his spirit continue to guide and inspire.
We will now have our next reflection read by Air Commodore Matthias Ewa on behalf of the Ghana Armed Forces. This will be followed by the National Security Coordinator, who would be on standby. Once again, we will take remarks from Air Commodore Matthias Ewa on behalf of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Where do I start? And how do I begin? A man of depth, intelligence, and wisdom. A soul calm as the ice, but fierce as fire. My boss, my big brother, my guide. Yeah, and Joyce Power. And the conversations on life and the future that we had planned. How could you have abandoned us, Kofi? This was not the script nor the plan. Our hearts are broken in ways we never imagined, and our spirits are pained beyond words can describe. We are left with but memories of you. Your smile, your wits and quips, your legacy. Yes, Omani's legacy. It is written in the many lives he touched and impacted. A legacy of selfless living. Kofi, they say you are gone, but you live in all of us. The world bids you farewell, but we refuse to let you go, those of us who know you. We refuse to let go of the values you not just taught us, but lived. Thank you, Kofi, for everything. Thank you for helping me with my first cabinet memo. Thank you for proofreading many of my speeches. Unfortunately, you couldn't do this one. Thank you for prepping me for many of my TV shows. Thank you for being my compass and guiding light in the mazy haze of politics. Thank you for simply being you. Edward Kofi Omanibuama. Comrades, activate all body cameras.
Thank you. The next family reflection will be read by Ibrahim Mohammed Baba for Alhaji Dr.
Happy birthday.
This ethos we invite into me in every single conversation we have.
Please allow me to stand on the protocol established and to make my reflection. This is not a time for perfect words, nor a time for the right thoughts, because there are none. Many of us here have experienced our departed colleagues in different places and times, in many ways and forms, even contexts, however momentary, however lengthy. Those experiences now crystallize into memories, those that we now hold, and those that we can latch on to. But the conclusions always cuts both ways. Should we ask our colleagues, who usually would have been with us at public events such as this? I believe they would have their stories too, personal, formal, intimate or otherwise, of their encounters with us, those who mourn them today. Just that we cannot hear their voices, we cannot share their narrative now, but we recognize the quality of the material they brought to the national table, which is the agenda for development. They have played their roles, and admirably so. They have served their nation and humanity well. How about us? What we feel, and palpably so, is the bewilderment, the confusion, the anger, the sadness, the denial, the grief, maybe acceptance at some point. What we know now are emotions that are expressing themselves from many quarters, including grieving parents, family members, siblings, wives, children, colleagues, neighbors, friends, and many others. And many more others who never knew them, but who hurt anyway. We have a nation in mourning. What we anticipate is the demand for answers. Abiding questions may include, why is this happening? Why did this happen? Why now? Why them? What should we do? What should we know? What are the lessons? How should we learn the lessons? How should we apply them? This is definitely not the time for distasteful gloating over the misfortune, for postulation. This is not a time for apportioning blame. It is a time for sober reflection, of paying attention to detail and to facts. A time for ensuring that mishaps are avoided going forward. It is a time for considering if the unhelpful barriers we consciously continue to build and maintain, which persistently divide us as a people, is worth the effort. It is a time for wishing our colleagues who have perished in the line of duty peaceful rest. It is a time for praying for comfort for their families and for everyone. It is a time too for the rest of us, all of us, to renew our pledge to work in ways that truly advance our country, as they have tried to do. Quote, Father, in thy gracious keeping, leave me now your servants.